What's up, makeup minions? I'm Kim Witte from WitteArtistry, dressed up as Penny, the astounding lizard girl from American Horror Story. Subscribe if you have not, but let's get into the tutorial. A massive thank you to my featured patrons, Bradley, Sheer, and Dantastic. Thank you for going so above and beyond to support what I do here. Guys, if you're interested in joining my Patreon, there's a link in my description. Basically, you get access to behind the scenes content, bonus content, you get early access to stuff, private live streams, merch, and all this other cool stuff. I'm turning into Penny, the amazing or astonishing lizard girl from American Horror Story. I will be using alcohol activated paints the entire time to capture the translucency of tattoos and just to make it look like it's more under my skin than on top of my skin. I firmly regret that decision. Although it's waterproof, it burns because of the alcohol. So I highly recommend you just use diluted body paint. So how you would make the mixture is just a bit of black with white. So you get like a gray, maybe like a hint of blue, and then you'd be good to go. So anyway, I'm using the mixture of alcohol to create a line across my forehead and make a plus sign in the center and create semi-hexagonal shapes going outward on my eyebrows and then down the center of my nose. I am following the pictures of the makeup directly from the television show to a T. So I am not making up anything as I go. I'm just following how they did it. And for the most part, it's a pattern, but it doesn't repeat itself perfectly. So there are little differences, little subtleties, little changes, probably just like actual snakeskin. So if you're not familiar with American Horror Story, it's like a horror show on Netflix that has a different theme every single season. I actually haven't really watched it. I watched the episode she was in just so I could get a backstory of the character. But basically, she was pretty and she was interested in a circus boy, and her crazy father wasn't okay with that. So he knocked her out and then tattooed this on her face. Like, it's terrible. So she's like this totally normal, really nice lady that now is like permanently disfigured with this snake tattoo all over her face. So I'm drawing the mouth, which is like a thin, jokery mouth slit. And then the little, I think they're eardrums, they might be heat sensors, I don't know, that's on like the side of iguanas near my ears. And then drawing these chunky little teeth that follow the edge of the line. I think this is also just scaling. So be really careful when you're doing this to get the lines nice and thin and then fill them in afterwards. The nose was pretty intricate and she has slitted nostrils. And there's a couple of scales that are like negative scales that are like white instead of black that have like little dots in the center. So I put one on my cheek. I'm following the pattern that they have to a T. If you want reference photos, Google's not really gonna help you. You want to go to the actual show and freeze frame it. She's in the carnival season, creating a circle around the eye. Typically the scales get smaller the closer you get to the eyeball. And there's little ones in between big ones usually. This makeup was way harder than I anticipated it being. How it's made in the film is they actually have a prosthetic that goes over the lady's hair because it has like a shaved part down the center and gives her like the brow. And then the face is actually like stick-on tattoos. So some artist was hired to design these, and it's like on a printout that they would stick on her face, so it wouldn't take like a million years to do. This was way more intricate and way more complicated than I thought it would be. So I'm outlining the circles, and then I'm creating like a chin strap, and then creating little rectangles inside of that. This is like the base outline of the shapes. I firmly recommend that if you were doing this by hand, you start in the center. At the forehead where I started, that was like a focal point, and then it's mirrored on either side. Get the mouth where it's supposed to be, get the big heat sensors or the eardrums, I can't remember what they do on lizards, in place, and then draw the chin strap and then fill everything else in. It'll make everything way easier. One thing that was difficult was getting all of the shapes and sizes correct, so it actually matched up with the original texture. The weird little ear circle things go around the eye again, and you're just mirroring what's on the other side mainly. It's slightly different, but pretty much the same. And this is when you can see how red my skin's getting. My skin was already dry from like a shower, and then I was putting this alcohol makeup on top of it, and it was not happy. If you're using some alcohol makeup, you get a really, really good tattoo look. And it's waterproof, which is really neat, but I wouldn't recommend doing that on your face in such mass quantities because, you know, it's your face. Your face is extra delicate skin. It's harder to get off. You have to take it off with 99% isopropyl alcohol. This is me being a lizard dork. Your skin just isn't fond of such things. I'm putting little dots up near my eyelids, filling in the extra little bits on the edges. I decided not to go into my hair or put on any prosthetics of any kind because this is actually for a competition. There's these competitions for Face Off on Instagram, and this is one of them that I entered for Michael Westmore, which was really cool. And the creators of American Horror Story, one of like the sculptors who worked on this episode, so that was really cool. Now onto her ears, which are covered in teensy-weensy little scales. Keep on going. Her story is really compelling. And like American Horror Story has lots of cool makeups in it and stuff, but like I just can't tolerate it. I tried to watch like 2 episodes related to this, but it was just too traumatizing. I'm not like a huge fan of gore or anything of that kind. It was intense. I wasn't prepared. So now I am tapping a little detail brush to create these little teardrop shapes going all the way down the neck, and then there's like these 2 little flourishes on the left and right side near the collarbone that are just implied scales. So I'm doing that. And then because her head's been shaped down the center and she ends up like embracing her freak face, she puts her hair up into these really crazy, weird, messy buns on the side. And there you have it. There is Penny. And she seemed like a nice lady. There's a scene when it was revealed to her with the mirror, so I kind of acted out that part. This was fun, but don't do it with alcohol makeup like I did. Look at how red my face is. Oh my gosh. Love you guys. Happy Halloween. Thank you guys so much for sticking to the end of this. This one was way more difficult than I anticipated it being. I knew it would be meticulous, but I didn't think how hard it would be to take these shapes and mirror them in a symmetrical reverse form on this side. But you know, I did it. I stuck with it. It was a little bit itchy, a little bit time consuming, but hey, we did it. Also, I think I kind of look like a caveman, just a little bit. But huge shout out to my wonderful Patreon producers. Wow. Without you guys, I couldn't afford to do this, so thank you so much for funding what I do and funding my dreams and funding alcohol palettes, because these things don't get themselves. So thank you so much. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.